back here to Salt Lake.
That's a long drive.
Especially it wouldn't have AC back then.
Was it, what time of year was it? Do you remember?
No, I think it was late summer. It wasn't winter.
Probably fall, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean late summer, fall.
You know, late summer in Florida and Georgia in the south is still pretty hot. Because we have 5 months of summer in Georgia.
And they have about 10 months in Florida. These guys went on a mission, to Orlando.
Mother had quite an experience in Florida too.
I didn't notice the
experience
much when we were in.
You were inside.
On our mission.
You didn't.
Oh, was it?
Of course, you were in the temple the whole time with AC.
4 days a week. We had 3 days we weren't.
Boy, whenever I've gone down there, it's really hot.
What are you saying, Jerry?
My mother had quite an experience around there because on the ranch, of course, she was the senior sister, the whole everything anyway. But they had this big house, big black and white farmhouse, and she kept a black snake. It was a big old black snake. She kept him under the back porch. She'd feed him milk every day.
A snake?
Big one, big black snake. And it was to keep the rattlesnakes. Because the rattlesnakes
yes.
The rattlesnakes would not come around that black snake.
So he's probably a king black snake.
And then her life on the ranch was all these general authorities and all these visitors would come and they'd stay in this big house. And so she cooked for them and did all the laundry. And
Be the hostess. That's a big job.
She worked her tail off at that house, because they all wanted to go down to the ranch, so they all came down and stayed. George Albert Smith, this story about him, he was down there one time, and he was sitting out one day in this outside, and my little brother Dan came up and asked him why he was sitting there, and he said, "Well, Dan, my feet are in the shade, and my feet are in the sun, my body's in the shade, and I'm comfortable that way."
Mm.
And he died just a couple of years later after that. It's interesting.
It is.
President Clark, his mother's thing to have dinner there down there, and then he'd say to Mother, "Could I have another dish of those potatoes?" And she'd make these, and she always made extra potatoes because he knew he was going to ask.
Was J. Reuben Clark, was he a pretty large man?
Yeah. Well, this way.
Yeah.
He wasn't awfully tall, but he was long. And he had been ambassador to Mexico. And they kept the presidency open for 2 years till he could get back from Mexico to become the first governor.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Brilliant man.